Yo, it's your boy Simon. People always wonder what's going on in prison after lights out. Well, here's some stories of what happens after dark. Here we go. Lights out. Count time. When a day finishes in prison. Oh boy, oh boy. People think that everybody goes to sleep. Oh, no. It's quite the opposite. That's when the ruckus comes out to play. Now, I remember my first night in prison. It was eventful, I'll put it like that. All night you hear guys slamming dominoes. All night you hear guys playing some kind of games. Now, I came from prisons where the cops didn't really care almost. They just did their job. They sat at their desks. They didn't worry about the unit. It was loud as hell all night. And it was just very disrespectful all around. Now, don't get it twisted. Of course, there was guys that made sure once it's count time, everybody shuts up. There's guys that got to go to work, etc. But here are some stories of what happens after dark. I remember it was actually, this is just crazy. I was in Cook County, and I was still in a wheelchair, right? So every time they call count, which was at 9:30 in Cook County, they would turn off all the lights. The only light in Cook County was the exit sign at the very back of the dorm. Now, this was a 48-man dorm. There was also there was also a light that was radiating through this little chuck hole window in the front of the room where the cops would come in. It was all a sealed door. After count time, after everybody get counted, if you guys do not know what count time is basically to make sure everybody is in their assigned bunks, make sure that nobody escaped, and make sure that everybody is alive. And once they turn off the lights, we would all go to the day room. Now, the day room was a part of this deck, okay? And it was just a big gymnasium-like building. So you had the bunks in the very back, and you had this day room with metal tables in the front. So we would just go up to the day room. I rolled up. At this point, I was in a wheelchair, and we played cards, right? So there was about 4 or 5 of us, but we were very respectful when it came to not making too much noise, because you got to figure a lot of the guys in the back, they had to work and whatnot. But there would also be extracurricular activities. Now, there would be guys in the bathroom smoking out of light bulbs. There would be guys, taking stuff out of the prison pockets that they've been waiting for all day. Cell phones, weed, cigarettes, whatever you can think of, they would have it. I remember vividly there was a guy at the very back of the dorm, because the whole dorm was made out of concrete, or rather the floor was. And all he would do all night is sharpen a shank. All you hear is I used to think to myself, like, just a matter of time before he used that on me. But thank God nothing happened to me. But actually, he did end up using that shank. I'll get to that in a different story. So we're in the day room, and there was a lot of smoke coming out of the bathroom, right? So there was guys smoking weed in there and whatnot. So we stayed out of there just so we didn't get in trouble, right, in case the cops came in. But I had to take a leak. So I roll myself in there. And before I roll myself in there, like 3 guys come out, right? And you just see a big-ass cloud. And in the back, you just hear, like, this creaking. It's like, Now, there's this guy. Before I continue, there's this guy. I used to call him Peg Legs. He had 2 peg legs. I believe he had them cut off due to diabetes. But, so Peg Legs, anytime that he would go somewhere, you could tell because he would make a lot of noise when he was going to the designated destination, right? It would just be like thumps. So you could tell Peg Legs was back there. But there was somebody else back there with him. So I just roll up in there. I help myself up. I try to get, up to the urinal. And you just see Peg Legs fall back. He falls back. And he looks at me like with this shock and awe. I'm like, man, you good, bro? He's like, yup. And there's a guy that was in front of him with his pants down. Now, if I'm lying, I'm dying. The guy quickly puts his pants up, gets up out of there. Peg Legs is on the floor with his legs all over the place. He can't get up. Other guy rushes out. I roll my ass out of that bathroom. I go up back to the boys, and I'm like, dude, you will not believe what I just seen. He's like, what? I tell him. And they're like, man, that's just that's just the regular, man. I'm like, wait, what? Now you got to realize I was fresh in jail/prison, so I didn't really realize like what kind of stuff went on in there, right? And the less you know, the better you're off, because the less people's businesses that you're in, the less attention and less of a target that you could become. So after that, it's just every single night it'd be something different. If it wasn't the guy sharpening a shank in the back, it was guys making hooch out of these correspondence boxes. They would just fill it up. They'd be drinking in the back. It would smell like stale champagne. Then you had guys smoking. They were taking light bulbs, literally light bulbs out of the ceiling, these long fluorescent light bulbs and stuff. And there was actually these small ones, normal ones that were out of a closet. And they were getting it in. I never smelled crack in my life. And once I went in that bathroom, I seen black smoke. I was wondering, what the hell is this? And somebody explained to me, man, that's crack. I didn't know what kind of bizarro world I was in. Once nighttime came, once those lights turned off, once the cops didn't come in, but once every, I think it was 2-3 hours. They actually have to come in every 30 minutes, but they never did. They don't care. It was like, damn. If you slip up in here, if you fall a victim to all the mumbo jumbo, all the stupidity, you could come out of here a mess. You could really mess your life up. You could become addicted. You could become a dependent drug addict. You can become a whole different person. So after I seen what was going on after dark, I vowed to myself, you know what? No. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to do me. I'm going to make sure I don't let nobody influence me as far as doing anything dumb, illegal, because at the end of the day, your goal is to go back to your family. And if you do dumb shit in prison, it's just like out here on the streets, you can get a lot more time tacked onto your sentence. And it's a shame, because I've seen guys go from 1 to 2 year bits to 5, 6, 7 year plus sentences. Now this is just one of the stories of how it is in prison after dark. If you guys enjoy this story, if you guys want to hear more of what happens when lights go out, hit that sub, hit that follow, drop a comment. I'd much appreciate it. I also stream on twitch.tv/everyonekills. Come on through, come hit the bobos, ask me anything. And until next time, nothing but love. Stay safe, make wise decisions. Peace.